ततो यति परम गतिम
ततो याति परम गतिम.
Krishna, thank you, Prabhuji. Welcome, Kinari one. Welcome to our group. Now, Prabhuji, we go for a word to word, or we read again? Partha Prabhuji.
We can ask Hare Krishna Pranari Prabhuji.
Yes, we can read by word to word, no problem. Just carry on, read to word, and then translation and the purport I will read it.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Now, Lata Mataji, word to word.
Hare Krishna. Samam. Equally. Pasyan. Seeing. He. Certainly. Sarvatra. Everywhere. Samavastidam. Equally situated. Iswaram. The super soul. Na. Does not. Kinasti. Degrade. Atmana. By the mind. Atmanam. The soul. Tataha. Then. Yati. Reaches. Param. The transcendental. Gatim. Destination. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Now, Avinash Prabhuji, can you read the translation? Thank you, Prabhuji.
Everyone is repeating after me, yeah?
Yes, we repeat, Prabhuji.
Okay. One who sees the Supreme Super Soul equally present everywhere.
One who sees the Super Soul equally present everywhere.
In every living being. Does not degrade himself by his mind.
Thus
he approaches the transcendental destination. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Now, Prabhuji, hand over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Srila Prabhupada. The living entity, by accepting his material existence, has become situated differently than in his spiritual existence. But if one understands that the Supreme is situated in his Paramatma manifestation everywhere, that is, if one can see the presence of the Supreme Personality of God in every living thing, he does not degrade himself by a destructive mentality, and he therefore gradually advances to the spiritual world. The mind is generally addicted to sense gratifying processes, but when the mind turns to the super soul, one becomes advanced in spiritual understanding. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So this is a very, very deep, actually, for me, it's very deep verse. Actually, it's not easy to understand this particular verse, but I'll try to whatever is within my capacity, I will try to explain it. But it's a very deep philosophy in that, because it's not easy to actually, it's practical. It's not possible for us, like for me especially. But yes, nothing is impossible if Krishna is there. Yeah. So this is very deep philosophy is mentioned in that. Let me read the translation. Is very, very powerful. the word Prabhupada written on very, very nice words, that one who sees the super soul equally present everywhere, right? Everywhere, in every living being. Comma is given, like, so that we can separate everywhere. Every living beings does not degrade himself by his mind. Again, the mind word is used. Here the word atma is used for the mind. Sometimes atma is used for the soul, sometimes body, sometimes different aspects of that. So, but here it is used, the atma, as a mind. And again the atman is used again, the twice it's used. Atma and atman is basically the soul and the mind, right? And thus he approaches the transcendental destination. This is very important. Now it's saying that does not degrade himself by his mind, then he can transcendental destination. Now let's understand this point. This is a very important point, to understand that how what actually the mind plays actually. And so that it is very easy for us to understand that how we can transcend, I mean, those are highly pure devotee, how they transcend actually. They already transcend to the spiritual sky. So I just want to give you the word which is mentioned here is basically that does not degrade himself by his mind. So this is very, this is a common picture. This is a common phenomena everywhere with every, especially with me. I cannot say about others, but yes. So basically, I just want to give you a small example, which is can help us to understand this particular a word degraded by the mind and all that. So actually, in once I was in Shanghai, China, and that was almost 10 years back. So I went to China for a conference, and then it was from my company, and they organized me my stay over there in a Hyatt hotel. And so I reached a day before, because it was like I have to go via the Singapore, from Singapore then to the Shanghai. There was no direct flight. So then I went a day in advance, and I said, okay, I should not miss the event. So I went a day in advance. So I went there. Then I got a day in between the when the event starts and the a day when I arrived. So I took rest, and then the next day was free for me. So I thought I'll do some shopping, because when you go abroad, you always have your mind tells you want to buy something for your family and all that. So I went to the one of the market over there. So I requested the bellboy to help me with to go to that nearest electronic market to buy a camera for me. So the bellboy, he called the taxi, because there's so many taxi around. So he called me taxi. He said that just, yeah, I spoken to him. It's very difficult to speak in that time, in Chinese and explain them. It was very difficult, but yes, somehow I managed, and then I got into the taxi, went to the market, got the camera. Now the problem started actually. Now basically it was the second day, and then when I came out from that shopping market, then I realized that I need to go to the hotel back, and I didn't catch that. They said there's a taxi. So there are so many taxis floating in that, if you go to Shanghai and all this Chinese market, you Chinese places in China, there are so many taxis on the road. So you can ask any, and they will take you. So I took I stopped the taxi. It was written taxi on that. He stopped and he said, where do you want to go? I say, I want to go Hyatt hotel. Then he said, which Hyatt hotel? I said, which means there. I said, there is no only. He said, there are 5 Hyatt hotels in Shanghai. Which one you want to go? And each is a distance of like 15 kilometer of distance, because Shanghai is quite big. So the distance, he said that one Hyatt is here. Which Hyatt you want to go? And I said, I made a mistake, that even I have not carried anything, I was thinking, what happened, like my mind was thinking that today you are lost, because, and speaking in Chinese about the place, even I didn't know, because when I came from the airport, the taxi was there from the hotel, and with the board card was there, plug card was there. So they were holding my card, so it's easy for me to identify. And I never check which area I am, but I remember one thing, that it is next to the this a Formula One race that was remain. So then I remember, yeah, it is next to the Formula. He's saying there are 2 hotels near the Formula race. Which hotel you want to go? I said the loss. He said again, because the Formula racing is quite big area. So he's saying there's one is about 5 kilometers. Which one you want to go? I said, I don't know about that. So then I was so, I said, what mistake I've done, why I came out and all that. I know with this Chinese guy will be take me. Then I actually, just for some time, then I was checking my this thing, like, then actually I found a card, the card of the key card. Actually, I was carrying the key card, because when you go out, you always carry the plastic key card with you. Then I saw the key card, and it's like written the Park Agency Hotel. This thing. Then I told him this hotel I want to go. Oh, I say this hotel you want to go. This is not far actually. So this is what basically happened. Basically that, when your mind is agitated, you lost control completely. You don't know what to do, because you have no idea what to do. And that's what happened. I'm just giving it. There are so many examples happened with me, but I'm sharing a very simple example. So when the mind is agitated, you lost control, and then we fall down actually. But here it's saying that in the translation that does not degrade himself by mind, thus he approached the transcendental destination. That's very, very powerful, because one who does not degraded by the mind. So we have to see that how to control the mind. So that was the incident I was sharing basically. So it happened because my mind taken because of the agitation, because of thinking that in a different country, because of the problem, I was thinking that I am lost now, what to do and all that. So though, I mean, if you are educated, you can get it, but still, you get into that for a few minutes, you get into that trauma of like what to do and all that, So then I said, okay, then I was start thinking, going back to my original position, that okay, what I was 2 minutes before and now what I am. So then I actually made thinking, start thinking that what I have and all that. Then I start frisking my body myself, checking that okay, then I found a card, and then I showed to the driver. Then I say, oh no, it's not that far actually. So this is what happened basically. Like even if you understand that this point is basically the super soul is not far actually. The super soul is within us. It's so near, but we are looking for everywhere actually. Yeah. So the super soul is actually protecting you. It's so near, and we get, because of the agitation, because of this problem, we get bewildered, and completely we lose our control, and we say, okay, we have no one, what to do now. Some people collapsed also, the some tragedy. I'm not talking about basically not this tragedy, but they are major tragedy. Because of small thing, they collapsed actually. In Japan, there's so much of people do commit suicide because they have no control over their mind. They do not think what to do, and they are so much engrossed in the mind. The mind actually captured them completely. Instead of controlling the mind, they get captured by the mind, this thing, and they commit suicide, for small thing. Like I heard one incident where basically that there was a big businessman, and he owned couple of buildings, the big high-rise building, and then he could not maintain the cleanliness of the building, and because people say your building is not clean, he committed suicide. Can you understand that? Very simple this thing. Because of the dust, because they are very hygienic, they maintain clean, and they wear, very clean people, they call themselves. But because the building was not clean, and he was not maintaining properly, so he committed suicide. So small incident, because of, they don't understand that the super soul is present with them. Now we will talk it basically that why this then because of the mind, we completely go blind, and we agitate because completely blind. So how do we calm the, we've learned this actually earlier. How do we calm the mind actually? How do we control the mind? It's very difficult to control the mind, but yes, If you can, I'll 1 second. Yeah. Okay, I have a control. Okay. So I just want to share something. 1 second. Yes. Yes. I've highlighted this one. 1 second, Prabhu. Sorry. Yes. Okay. Now this is very important verse. Okay. For me, this is very important verse. It's a 620. Okay. This one. 620. Yatro prate chintanadam yogasva yatra chetvanatman pashyantinya tushati. This is very important verse because this one I have highlighted this portion in blue. It's basically talking about, this is the one of the process mentioned by Lord Krishna. But yes, this is very important for us to control our mind. By practicing yoga, one become gradually detached from the material concept. This is primary characteristics of yoga principle. And after this, one becomes situated in trance or samadhi, which means that the yogi realizes the super soul, transcendental mind and intelligence without any misgivings of identifying the self with the super self. So this is very important actually verse actually. It said that in the stage of the perfection called trance or samadhi, one mind is completely restrained from the material mental activity by practicing yoga. This is very important line. This is very important line for controlling the mind, because we completely go into the material activity and we have to control that. Yeah. So this is what happened. Yeah. So that's what 620 is. It's a very important. So what happened basically, like, so this helps us to control our mind. Yeah. So what the yogis does is basically that they calm down. Actually, they calm down. They control the senses and everything, and then they actually they understand. Actually, the important point is basically that they understand what is the material things. Now you be saying that why I'm talking about the material things. Okay, this is very important point. It's a we need to understand this. They understand those who are actually meditate on the super soul, and they understand the what are the material things. What is the meaning of the material things? Material things basically meaning that they understand that which are the material things are not good for the devotional activities. They understand that very clearly, and they accept only those which are good for the devotional activities. So that is the difference. So because of concentrating, because they understand everything, that's how they go that. And by they have a clear understanding, they can actually elevate themselves to the transcendental platform actually, because they are automatically, because gradually they practice so much into the devotional services, then we say the bhakti yoga. So they practice so much that automatically they actually move away those things away from their reach. Reach means basically from not exactly physical reach, but from the senses point of view. From the sense point, they say, okay, it is there. Okay, it is, if it is not in Krishna service, it's no use for them, whether it's any diamond or any very expensive item. If it is not in use of Krishna, they don't actually recognize it. They said, okay, it's a waste of efforts or time or whatever it is. That's how they do it. So we need to understand that in the purport is mentioned that the purport, if you look at that, if one understands that the Supreme is situated in his Paramatma manifestation everywhere, that is, if one can see the presence of the Supreme Personality of God and in every living thing, it does not degrade himself by a destructive mentality. Destructive, Prabhupada is written that destructive mentality, and he therefore gradually advanced to the spiritual world. Because how they basically that he advanced actually, let me give you another example that how do we see that. Okay, that he advanced it basically from a very initial phase to the advanced stage, right? We are still in a practicing devotee. We are still Kanishka Adhikari, a very early stage of the devotion. But those who actually, the Madhyama Adhikari and Uttama Adhikari, how they progress actually, that is very simple to understand. Is basically like, as you know that we have the Lord has given us the vision to see everything, but sometimes we don't see it. Like for example, like as I mentioned, that you go to any place and then you say, oh, where is that place? You know, your mind is somewhere and you are somewhere, but the place is there, but you're looking around and saying, oh, then finally then you come back. So basically that what happened, that your vision is not clear. So if your vision is not clear, then you go to the doctor, and then and then doctors, they rectify the optician rectify your vision, right? I'm talking about, the vision is basically the Vedic vision. I'm talking about basically the scriptures. So basically, like, to see the world from the, I'll come to that point also. What is basically the point mentioned here is basically that the Vedas gives the instruction to how to see this world actually. The Vedas gives the verse. The Vedas tells you, the scriptures tells you that how to see this world, because we have to do this devotional service. We have to read the scriptures. Then we understand that how this material world is. If we, otherwise our mind will keep dragging you in the degraded form of the life, right? So that is the main, it's mentioned that in the translation and the purport, the meaning of that is basically that we need to have a vision. We need to go through the scriptures. We need to do the devotional activities and the services, so that this mind get busy on those activities which are favorable for our devotional progress or taking us to the, we get the same result whether reading the scripture or devotional. So we'll get the same result, but gradually we have to. So that's a Vyas has given us the scriptures. Prabhupada has translated us for in a simple way to understand that, and to progress in the spiritual. Also, bhakti is sublime actually. You know, it's so sweet, right? And acharyas, it's so beautiful. And the acharyas also recommended, like the 12 Mahajana, as you know, the Brahma, Shiva, Narada, Kapila, Sambhuna, Janak, Bhishma, Sukhdev, Bali Maharaj, Yamraj, Prahlad, and Kumar, 4 Kumars here. So they have given us. So if you read the all the about their life and all that, and how they practice a devotional service, how they have controlled their mind actually, you know, like Sukhdev Goswami, yeah. So he was not coming out from the womb of your mother, because he said that this is material world, I don't like it, you know, I heard that and all that. So he said, then the Lord say that your devotional practice will keep will be going on, so don't worry about it. Then he came out from the womb of his mother. So that's how the Vali Maharaj actually, he gave the word to the Lord, and then he fulfilled those things, because he said, whatever you want to ask, take my head also. So this is how these exalted devotees in their life practice, because they know that because of practicing the devotion service, we will be away from this material contamination. And then the only way is basically to gain, is basically to go to the spiritual abode, is basically to first to gain the knowledge, spiritual knowledge, and the spiritual knowledge by doing the spiritual activities or the devotional activities, and then you reach to the abode of the Lord. So they practice that. And Prabhupada, you know that our Srila Prabhupada have practiced, and he's given so much instruction. The all Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they all given us instruction that how do we have to practice this devotional service, how do we have to engage ourselves in that. So the mind should not take us, otherwise we have to keep coming this material world, and spending time, and then doing all this material activities, sense gratification also. So it's better to have engage ourselves in an activity which takes us back to the Godhead. So that is what recommended by the all 12 Mahajanas. Srila Prabhupada also mentioned that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also mentioned, all our Six Goswami also mentioned that, how to with that. And we have to be very careful. This instruction, this spiritual instruction, or the the way of going back to the Godhead cannot be given by any the material person or material Baba and all those things, because they don't know the difference between the what is the spiritual abode and this material. They don't differentiate that. For them is basically the materials. They have their own aim in life, that they want to get their popularity, they want to have their own missions to go on. So we have to be careful. So we have to basically that we have to always associate with Prabhupada books, Prabhupada instructions, Prabhupada lectures, and the devotees of the disciples of Prabhupada. So few days back we celebrated the Vyas Puja of Srila Prabhupada and our spiritual master, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Swami Maharaj. So when I was hearing about from the devotees about first Srila Prabhupada, that how Srila Prabhupada was basically he was never on a material platform. Though he has the material body, we were thinking is material, but he was never on a material platform. He always on a spiritual platform. And that's, though he is born from a material family and then got material education, then he himself elevated to the spiritual education, a spiritual knowledge. How? Because he has controlled his mind and he has understood that there is a super soul in him. And secondly, the quality of Prabhupada and our Guru Maharaj is basically Samadarshana. Samadarshana meaning basically like they see everyone as a part and parcel of the Lord. They don't differentiate that. And because of that, they both of them, right, all other devotees are there, but I'm just naming the few whom I know Maharaj very closely, and Srila Prabhupada we associated by his work and lecture. But because of because they see everyone, and Prabhupada's mission was to bring everyone to the Krishna consciousness and to get delivered them, because Prabhupada want to see that everyone, whoever is, whether it's in Western country, whether it's any other country in Africa, China, Japan, all that, Prabhupada want to get delivered those people because they are fallen souls. Prabhupada said that give them a Krishna, and so they can get delivered in their life. Same with our Guru Maharaj. So I was hearing from a devotee and all that, and they were talking about the our Gurudev Gopal Krishna Maharaj. So they're saying that whenever there is a dispute in ISKCON, so our Guru Maharaj goes there and he solves the problem, right? He solves the problem. How he solves the problem? Because he said that we are doing everyone. He makes everyone agree that whatever we are doing is basically for the Srila Prabhupada, for his happiness, for his so that he can see us. And then all of them agreed. They all get agreed at the end of the day. Okay, but a big dispute. It's not a small dispute. It's a big dispute. The Guru Maharaj sometimes he has to travel along from this country to another country, from here to Mayapur, means from Delhi to Mayapur or other places, to solve the problem, because he sees that there is a super soul in me, there is a super soul in him. We are same. We are on the same equal platform. There is no difference in that. So why to dispute? And he always say that is basically he explained in such a way that he's a very good troubleshooter, what they call it, and he's the only GBC in the world, right, who got the letter from Prabhupada saying that you can resign from GBC as and when you wanted, as in when no one, otherwise the GBC, any GBC sannyasi or any member of the GBC remain for maximum 2 years. But our Guru Maharaj has been there for so many years. And if you look in India also, the Krishna consciousness is flourishing because of our Guru Maharaj, because he sees everyone. He actually, the effulgence comes from his body basically to come to Krishna consciousness, because he see on the same level that we are the part and parcel of the Lord. Is he no difference in that? I was one devotee was saying that our Guru Maharaj has opened more than 50 Govinda restaurant in the world, 50 restaurant. but he never ate a single, he never took a single bite from any of the restaurant, because he feel that this is something not, it's for other devotee to come and all that. It's not, I should follow my spiritual master instructions. So he is always dedicated to that. So because he see that we are a part of parcel. We are carrying a super soul within us, and as in the form of Paramatma. So Paramatma is seeing that whether we are doing good or bad, right? Or how we are doing it. So we have to use our mind in such a way that we get elevated to the spiritual world. Now, see, we have to, it's mentioned also that in this purport, right? One second, yeah, purport is mentioned further, is basically, if one can see the presence of Supreme Personality in every living thing, it does not degrade himself to destructive mentality, and it therefore gradually advances the spiritual world. So I'm saying that, he actually remain untouched with the material thing. How he remain untouched? Because the super soul, the Paramatma, is the super soul. He created this material world. He created everything, right? He always, the super soul, remain untouched with, and he knows how to keep you untouched. How he also knows that how he can keep you untouched from this material world, provided that you understand that there is a super soul present in you. If you ignore it, yeah, like when the teacher in the classroom, right, she knows that whose student is good in studies and all that, right? The teacher goes out from the classroom, and then the naughty child or the naughty students, they play around, and but the one who is dedicated, he always do his homework. We have seen it, those, we all, you have experience, right? That when teacher works for some work or something else, the naughty students, they will play, they will throw duster, they will make fun of the teacher, they will try to play, they will try to break something or other things, yeah, or they to do chatting and all that. But the honest student of the teacher, or the very dedicated student of the teacher, he always do his homework, he'll follow, you will see. And when the teacher comes back, everyone is sitting like quietly. They see that, oh, teacher is coming, let's sit quietly. But the teacher knows that which student is the best student. Similarly, the super soul, which is present, I'm just saying, giving an example of a teacher, knows that how my student is, right? How my disciple, my devotee is. So we have to see that. We cannot say that, okay, no one is present around us, we do mischievous activities. No, the super soul is present, he's monitoring us, saying that, so for his happiness, for his this thing, he's given us the body, he's telling us to come back fast, I'm here to get delivered. So once we understand there is a super soul, he help us, the super soul will help us to eliminate our anarthas and all that from our life. He'll help us to keep away us from the material gratification, sense gratification, all that, because he always there, provided that you understand. As a given example of a teacher, which help us to the teacher understand that what is this thing. So super soul is all the time with us, right? So there is no difference that when we get sad, when we are, because we are human, right? And it's by nature, we get sad also, we get bewildered so many times, and we get unhappy also. So this happens, right? It's nothing unique about me or anyone, it's happened, right? But and we sometimes we feel we are lonely, yeah. No, we are not alone, we have someone. Even it's mentioned that if you go to the if someone goes to the narka also, the super soul goes with you, the Krishna comes with you, right? But we don't recognize that. So we need to recognize that super soul is always with us. Why to worry about that? Yeah, things, whatever in your past karmas happen, it will happen, right? But make sure that we understand the super soul. Today we are in a Zoom, right? A Zoom class. So super soul is present, right? In the form of the Lord is everywhere. Yeah, he's hearing us, right? We are seeing that, as a you and me. So it's everywhere. It's not that the super soul is not present. It's everywhere, in everyone heart, in the animal, the plants, and everywhere. The super, but the conscious level is different. But we have that conscious level is different, so we can actually understand. Also, the wherever the some people are very proud of their this thing nature, they get feel, oh, I'm so high, I'm earning so much and all that. But if you look at those who goes up, they always come down, right? It's a gravitational force. So the gravity of the nature also is like that. So they come back, yeah. So but they need to understand that who have taken them up, we should not forget that. And that's what happened to people who rise and they also fall. And but if they fall also, Krishna is saving them. It's not that they fall down and then Krishna is not saving them. Krishna is saving them. There was there was an incident happened with the initially, I mean, just a week back, when my mother-in-law, she was passing, she took first time in her life the e-rickshaw. Yeah, e-rickshaw, that in Vrindavan. She stays in Vrindavan. So she first time in her life, she said, I am and distance is like maybe from the Krishna Balram temple to our house, it's about 900 meters. Chaitanya Vihar, Chaitanya Vihar is not far, right? From the temple, right? Where is the police station, or the Prem Mandir is there. Opposite to the Prem Mandir, you have a house there. So from the Krishna Balram temple, you can say Prem Mandir. So she was first time in her life, she always walk. I mean, throughout her life, means maybe where she's staying for last 10 years there. She always walk. And first time in her life, first time she said, today I want to take a e-rickshaw. And she took e-rickshaw. And what happened when she was going the rickshaw, a car bumped into the e-rickshaw and the crash. The entire rickshaw got damaged. The car got damaged, and she fall on the other side of the road. She fall and she got a lot of injuries and all that. But she was saying that first time in my life I took e-rickshaw. It's because the Krishna says that take e-rickshaw, and because if she was not taken the e-rickshaw, she would have been crashed by the car. So that is the Krishna sees that. So the real, I was saying that even I was told that same thing, that because of Krishna, see, he saved your life, because first time in her life, because he never took. She said, no, first time I want to take it. And she took it and she was saved. If there was no e-rickshaw, if the e-rickshaw got the completely damaged, the car was so fast, the car got damaged. She got a few injuries, but she was saved. And then she was looking for where is my bead bag. And because she fall from one side to other side of the road, means completely jump, and she didn't know what happened. So this is basically how this happened, is basically that Krishna is saving the devotee. See, Krishna is there in super. So, and she always recognized that the Krishna is working. I was surprised that everyone saying that first time why she took her, but Krishna saved her. So that's, we need to understand that Krishna is all the time with us. It's in the form of a super soul, and we need to recognize it, that how it is different from the body and the soul, right? We consider the body, so we need to understand this relationship to then that super soul is present. Then we like it's, some people say, oh yeah, I'm getting so many pain and all that, so it's basically like, yeah, it's basically that when you come to this material form, is like a bus ticket. You get sometimes you get a good seat, right? Sometimes you get a good road, or sometimes you get a bumpy road. It's all depends on basically that your past karmas. Yeah. So but yes, Krishna is minimizing those past karma to help you, that because the more you surrender to him, the more he will help. So this, in conclusion of this, is saying that the mind is generally addicted to sense gratification process, but when the mind turns to super soul, basically the mind is basically completely, as a consciousness turns to the super soul, one become advanced to spiritual understanding, and then he elevate to the spiritual abode. And that's what we have seen, that many Prabhupada, how the Prabhupada is completely, he was never on a body platform, he was on a transcendental the Atma or the soul platform, because he understand that how, because that's the purity. Even Prabhupada mentions so many times that it's not, I'm not writing anything, I read my book, because when I read my book, because it's basically the Krishna was dictating me that write like that, because it's completely different. And that's the reason, because purity is the force. If someone writes, like even I write, suppose for example, you will say this is, oh, this is nothing, like this is fake, because we don't have that purity. Prabhupada had purity, and he's still there. He's having the purity, and is that because of the purity is the ISKCON is spreading, and otherwise it's very difficult. How can there are other sampradayas also trying to this thing, but they are not able to success because there's no purity. There's so many, our Maharaj is so pure, the so many Maharaj, Loknath Maharaj is so pure, the Radhanath Maharaj, Radha Govind Maharaj, so pure, because of the purity, ISKCON is flourishing. And because they see that the material the mind is only on Krishna consciousness. They talk, they sleep with, they talking Krishna while they're sleeping, they think of Krishna all the time. So this is the conclusion of this, basically, that think always of Krishna and will help us to transcend to the spiritual abode. That is what I understand from this verse. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Nice class, Prabhuji. Now, anybody having any question or a realization, kindly unmute and ask, please. Prahlad Prabhuji, Saga Mataji, anybody, please?
No, Prabhu, no question. It was very nice the way Pran Hari Prabhu, explained, with these trip to Shanghai, to, how we are supposed to perceive the method, and also the importance of Guru in order to go back to Godhead, the journey. It was very nice class. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Any other question, please?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I don't know, it's a question just I thought came in my mind. The moral is that we should be constantly be thinking about the Lord. And that way your mind will stabilize and, move forward. But how come, we try to do that? We are aware because we have got that knowledge. But we tend to forget him every, like even though you want to remember him continuously, it somehow Krishna disappears, your mind just goes somewhere else. Is there anything, any method or any whereby you want to, your heart says you want to remember him, but it's just something happens and you just can't remember him? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, it's very nice question, actually. And it's not Mataji, you, it's everyone, actually. it's basically we are practicing devotee. That's the reason I'm saying we are not perfect devotee. We are practicing devotee. And I'll just ask you a very simple question. Like, suppose if you have a locker at home and you lose that key of the locker and you need money and you have a work also. So you always keep thinking, yes, that where is my key, isn't it?
Yes.
So why you thinking for the key? Key is a material thing. Yeah, money is there definitely, but you need a money, isn't it? And you always keep thinking, okay, where is my key? When you are cooking, where is my key? When you are addressing your kids or something, or deities and all that, you will be thinking, where is my key? Right? Because your mind, because that is important. You need money. And you're always thinking, where is my key? What happened when you are eating? Where is my key? When you're going out, where is my key? What happened to my keys? I mean, that constant, it happens with you. Remember, I hope that it happens with everyone, that
yes,
you lose
it does. It does.
Yeah,
yes.
It does, right? So you always thinking of the key. Where is my key? What happened to my key? Where I lost it, always thinking of that. Similarly, if you replace key with Krishna, right? That is basically that we don't think, because we are so much engrossed with the material things in our life that we don't give time to Krishna, because our understanding is that who is Krishna? He is not giving us, he is not seeing us, he is not coming in front of us, he is not helping us. So why to remember it? The key is more important than Krishna, right? So that is the concept, is basically we have to change. We have to replace everything with the Krishna name. then automatically you will remember it. Your child goes to school, you always think, oh, he has eaten the prasad, yes, he's doing okay, in what time he scored well. You always thinking of him, right? Because throughout the day, wherever they, oh, what time you are ready, when he comes you are ready for him, that oh, he's going to come, I need to prepare food for him, he should be eating and all that. Then you also make his bed that he need to see, and then you will make arrangement for his tuition tutor. Okay, you will call him the tutor, okay, come at this time. Then the evening you will ask him to play, you will make his sports tools ready, whatever these items and all that. And the evening he will come back, you will say tired, you give him a milk and all that. So basically your activity, it's like it's a partly spiritual also, because you are, if you are taking him to Krishna consciousness, that also, but it's related to mostly that work we engage in that. But those works, if we put it Krishna in between, everything will change, then you will remember all the time. It's basically we have to practice. We are not practicing actually Krishna, we taking Krishna for granted. That is the only issue. There is no other issue, because Krishna is present, he is listening us also. He said, okay, let them enjoy. Because see, Krishna only come, his only job is basically to deliver us there, because he comes in this material world to attract. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes in to attract, so that they can come back. We like something, then we attract, we go. We like something, if you're in shopping mall, there's a display, right? They put beautiful dressing with this whatever they call statue, whatever it is. They put beautiful, and then you like you, and they attracts you towards that. Krishna is coming. Krishna is in the form of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. What we are is basically, it's a way of attracting, so that they can come back from this material. We only basically need to develop our faith. Once we have that faith, surrender, trust, and we develop the association, all that, then we'll engage, we'll completely remember Krishna all the time. There is no way to forget. Like the key example, like your kids example, you will not forget. Similarly, why we forgetting Krishna? Because we are giving third priority, fourth priority to Krishna rather than to number one priority. Even me also. It's not, it's nature, our nature. There's nothing wrong in that, but only we have to practice abhyas and vairagya, detachment and the practice. These two things is taught in Bhagavad Gita to understand the Krishna, to be always with Krishna 24/7. Hare Krishna, Mataji. I hope I answer your question.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Any other question? Any other question? Renika Mataji, Kinari one. Any other question? Okay, I think now very well. Thank you, Prabhuji. Now I want to hand over to Partha Prabhu Dasa Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Nice to see
Thank
you,
you very
Prabhu.
much.
Nice to
After
see
a
you.
long time. Yes, Prabhuji.
When I see you, I am very happy,
I am also very happy.
Yeah.
Because you are a big temple, big devotee, big association.
No.
So
Please.
you sometimes come to see us, give your grace to show us, so we can able to be developed in Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, no, because
Thank
you are,
you.
no, you don't need, you are such a nice devotee. You are actually expanding so much. I'm very happy to see that, the devotee actually you're conducting your everyday present actually, because seeing the devotee, people change his life, they change his life actually.
Thank you, Prabhuji. It's nice to say it is the verses Prabhuji, Pranahari Prabhuji telling Samam Pashyan hi sarvatra, like one who sees the super soul equally present everywhere. It is the connecting verse of 27, like a Samam Sarvasya Bhuteshu Tishtatam Parameshwara. Like yesterday also we discussed, with the continuation of the last text, like a person who sees the super soul everywhere. He is like the bona fide, he is the Pandita, and he is the Jnani, and he is supposed to be develop himself to the super soul or the supreme abode. Like also I discussed already yesterday, like 5.18, Vidya Bina Shampanne Brahmana Gabhyastini, Sunichena Shupake Pandita. This is the appropriate, appropriate verse of this one. So who is the truly knowledge? who is called Brahman, it means who knows the Brahma, he see everywhere, even in the ant, even in the human being, even in the elephant, even in the plants, like creepers, everywhere, even the amoeba, bacteria, that one also. That is true. So when a person develops that stage, he is qualified, like here it is telling, he is not degrade himself by his mind, like he is Sthita Prajna. He is control everything in his mind. And those he approaches to transcendental destination. And that person can only go to the transcendental abode, not other one. Because the bhakti and transcendental abode is a very subtle thing. So no, our so much ego, so much proudness, and so many things, material things, we cannot. By this process, we cannot go that one also. Even not a spiritual world. So when it is telling the transcendental destination, it means we are supposed to be purified 100%. And this is the jnana level. So how in this text, like Prabhupada example very nicely, how we are supposed to see everything, the soul in everybody, everywhere, in every living entity. Even chara and achara also it is described before also. Even the moving and non-moving also.
Yeah,
So
very nice.
everywhere Krishna is, so that is omnipresent. Krishna everywhere. It's not like that Krishna is there and Krishna is not here. So the thing is Prabhupada telling we're supposed to change our vision by jnana chakshusa. Jnana chakshusa, it means we needed not like this ordinary eyes, like Arjun had the eyes, but he's Krishna told in the 13th chapter, 12th chapter, I'll give you the transcendental eyes so that you can see me. Similarly, by this transcendental eyes, Jnana Chakshusa, by this knowledge, we can see Krishna. We can see the super soul is everybody, everyone's heart. So how it is possible, like Prabhuji told, the association, devotee association, surrender to the bona fide spiritual master and reading the Bhagavad Gita and devotional service, then we can come to that stage. Thank you, Prabhuji, once again. Also, thanks all the devotee who joined here. So I request all the devotee, please unmute yourself and chant Hare Krishna mantra for a glorification of His grace, Pran Hare Prabhuji.
For everyone. For everyone.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Vancha Kalpa
Sarvasya Kirpa Sindhu Vayevacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai,
jai.
jai, jai, jai.
His grace Pran Hare Prabhuji ki
No.
jai.
All grace, somebody do it. All grace, all grace, all did it. All grace.
Thank
Hari
you.
Bol,
Hare
Hari
Krishna.
Bol.
Hare Bol.